Last night, Fox News and the Republican Party of South Carolina hosted the first Republican presidential debate. The only candidate present with any chance of winning the nomination was former Minnesota Governor Tim Pawlenty. Pawlenty was joined by Congressman Ron Paul, former Senator Rick Santorum, and two guys named Herman Cain and Gary Johnson. The lineup prompted Republican National Committee Chairman Reince Priebus to tell the New York Times, as we all know, there are numerous other candidates that are looking at a presidential run, and thank God. The recent news that President Obama led a successful mission to kill Osama bin Laden made foreign policy the focus of the debate and eliminated at least one way the candidates could attack the president.
I do congratulate President Obama for the fine job that he did in taking some tough decisions and being decisive as it related to finding and killing Osama bin Laden. He did a good job, and I tip my cap to him in that moment. But that moment is not the sum total of America's foreign policy. He's made a number of other decisions relating to our security here and around the world that I don't agree with. And in fact, if it turns out that many of the techniques that he criticized during the campaign led to Osama bin Laden's being identified and killed, he should be asked to explain whether he does or doesn't support those techniques.
Following debate, a focus group of South Carolina voters were asked who won the evening.
Who won the debate? Let's go in alphabetical order. How many of you think Herman Cain won the debate? Well, we can stop right there.
This is a sampling of what those voters heard last night that convinced them that Herman Cain was the Republican Party's best chance to defeat Barack Obama.
Herman Cain, former chairman and CEO of Godfather's Pizza. You don't have your own plan yet about what you would do in Afghanistan?
No, the experts and their advice and their input would be the basis for me making that decision.
The practical effect of a fair tax would be a tax cut for the wealthy and a tax increase for the middle class.
I strongly support totally replacing the current code with the fair tax. And I'm proud of the fact, quite frankly, that I haven't held public office before.
During that debate, a CBS News reporter spotted House Speaker John Boehner at Morton's Steakhouse in Washington. When asked why he was not watching the Republican debate, the speaker said he'll read about it tomorrow. He added, there's more time for people to get in. Joining me now from South Carolina, Slate.com political reporter and MSNBC analyst Dave Weigel, who bravely attended that debate. Thanks for joining me tonight, Dave.
Oh, thanks for having me.
So the Romney boycott of the debate, was that the right move at this stage?
I don't think Mitt Romney or anyone on Romney's team stayed at home and bit their lips over what they were missing from this. And I spent time with voters yesterday. I spent time with them today. There wasn't that much umbrage that Romney wasn't there. But South Carolina, keep in mind, is a state where Romney tried pretty hard to win last time. Got the endorsements of now Governor Nikki Haley, got the endorsement of Jim DeMint. Neither of them has come behind him this time. And a reason is that being a Mormon Republican who signed a sweeping health care law, he doesn't have a ton of a chance. He doesn't have much of a chance here the way it looks now. So he doesn't. John Huntsman, who's here actually at this moment and didn't show up. Gingrich, I don't think any of them felt like by not competing with Herman Cain, they missed a great opportunity.
Now, the major candidates, if we can call them that, at that event were Pawlenty and Rick Santorum. They each have a chance of being on the ticket. Santorum from Pennsylvania is a reasonable, it seems to me, choice for vice president on that ticket. Pawlenty could end up on the ticket in the number 2 spot or the number 1 spot. How did the Pawlenty versus Santorum debate go?
I don't think I was watching that. I mean, they both were the most polished people in some respects. Rick Santorum, I realized halfway through the debate, was the only one on the stage who'd been a Fox News contributor for most of his post-political career. So he was quite good at answering these questions, and he's pretty good on the stump. And Pawlenty, I think at this point, he's kind of where Romney was 4 years ago. He will show up to anything. He benefits inch by inch from showing up to everything. But When I talked to even Republican legislators after the debate, they actually appreciated the presence of people like Ron Paul and Gary Johnson and Herman Cain. Herman Cain, we can be dismissive about him. We can look at his poll numbers and say there's nothing there. We can wonder why Republicans like him so much. But before the debate, there were Republicans in the state who were saying, watch out for him. After the debate, there were Republicans saying we were right about him. Some will admit his answers were a little bit glib, but Pawlenty and Santorum, for as much polish as they have, don't really excite people. And I was about to say yet, I'm not sure if they ever will excite people.
Well, I think they had a nominee last time around that didn't excite anybody either. They've been known to do that before in the Republican Party. Right,
and that comes up here. That's a reason, yeah.
And that Ron Paul actually talked about Afghanistan there, got a big reaction to it. Let's listen to what Ron Paul had to say.
Now that he's killed, boy, it is a wonderful time for this country now to reassess it and get the troops out of Afghanistan and end that war that hasn't helped us and hasn't helped anybody in the Middle East.
He actually got some pretty good applause for that kind of stuff. Is that an indication that Ron Paul fans are loud or that Republicans are shifting into an anti-war mood?
Well, we've known for a very long time how loud Ron Paul fans are. And he had a all-day fundraiser yesterday that raised $1 million. He proved again that he will be there irritating Republicans for this whole campaign process. But on Afghanistan, he's actually kind of a leading from the front on this. I don't meet many voters here at other places who are that excited about the war in Afghanistan now that Osama bin Laden's dead. They don't all feel like the mission's been accomplished, but they're pessimistic about it. And they supported it from the get-go because they wanted to get him. So ideas like this, again, you can look for the guy who's going to get the nomination. We don't have any idea who that is. I think it's actually interesting to look at the guys who have an idea that everyone else has to respond to, which happened the other night, and like Herman Cain, answer something that we don't quite know what it is in the Republican mindset as they grasp for a candidate.
Dave Weigel, political reporter for Slate.com and also with MSNBC. Thank you very much for joining us tonight, Dave.